Alrighty, so as I was telling you, and I wanted to share this story while I'm telling it to you. Um, so my son, he was complaining. He was well, not complaining. I'll just say he was upset because he was let go from a job, and he said, you know, man, that's messed up. I spent so much time there and it wasn't even like meant for me to be there because, I'm not there now. And I thought, and I said, you know what? I said, son, this reminds me of the time when we lived in Reston, Virginia. And I remember, man, it was wonderful. It was wonderful for me and Yvette, my best friend, and the kids. I said, it was amazing because it was like heaven. And we never wanted to leave there. I was like, man, resting. And Yvette felt the same way. And y'all were having such a great time. It was a time in my life when, even though you guys had, you would have been diagnosed with ADHD if I let you. I found the swimming pool. And we had 24 swimming pools. And we would go to a different swimming pool every day during the summer. And you guys loved it. And I would stay there. I came to the conclusion that 4 hours was enough. That's a long time for most parents. But it was good because you guys, when you got home, you had your dinner. You had your showers. And you couldn't do much more than that. You would sleep. So it would be the 4 hours that was closest to the end of the day. So it was heaven. I don't know. Resting is beautiful. I love beauty. I don't know. It's a landscaper's canvas.
Paradise.
A landscaper's canvas. Because I was later told while I lived there that Reston was designed, the landscape and everything was designed by an actual landscaper. Wow, what a wonderful idea, right? Yes, and it was so beautiful. Remember, we lived off of Glade Drive. Our first house was on White Cornice Lane, Imani, remember? Mm-hmm. White Cornice is like a flower or something, or a tree, I don't know. But all the names were Glade. Then we ended up living on Coquina. Everything was to do with flowers. Dogwood was the school, the elementary school they went to, and that's a tree. And we had lots of dogwoods there.
I haven't seen any.
And didn't you take a picture by a dogwood? And that was a beautiful picture. We have to find, I think we have a copy of it somewhere.
I don't think we do.
At any rate, I don't want to get off topic. Okay, so I was just telling you so that Imani could go with me there in her mind and remember how wonderful Reston was. It was great. So one day I was driving in Reston and I remember having to use this road to access this road called Temporary Road. The road was called Temporary Road. And when I saw the road, I don't know, but God knows me in my mind. And he spoke to me just in seeing the word. And I thought to myself, man, we're not going to be here forever. God just told me in my spirit, just seeing the road, that this was temporary. So what I told my son is, I received from God that day, and it became more and more clear to me. That was around 2003, 2004 when I saw it. And it became more and more clear to me as I grew older that if you are walking with God, everything is temporary. Because with God, growth is attached to going. With God, growth is attached to moving forward, beginning again, and starting anew. And so I told my son, it's not that you were not meant to be there. Hallelujah. But you were not meant to be there forever. You are God's child. And part of your growth is to go to new places, start new things, learn all that you can there, and then get ready for the next place that he has in store for you to explore. In our exploration, this is especially for me, this is how my life goes. In our exploration, we learn things and we grow. And once again, especially if you're a child of God, you learn and you grow through exploration, you know. And so I told him it's not that you weren't meant to be there, but it was temporary. And I said, if you start seeing everything in your life as temporary, even your husband or wife has to move on one day. Then you'll start to prepare yourself for it. Your mom and dad have to move on one day. So what are you supposed to get from it? What are you supposed to gain from the person while they're here? There's wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to be gained from older people in our lives. There are beautiful memories to make with them before they pass away and move on from this earth. So what is it that you're supposed to gain from that job you had? Me and my daughter had a conversation as she was writing her book. And I said, wow, I said, you know what? You can use your experience from Ford and some of the things I shared with you. You know, she was a car saleswoman at Ford and I was a car saleswoman at Volkswagen. And I said, wow, you can use that experience, you know. And I had my own businesses and I remember jobs that I hated. And I said, man, why am I here? But then when I had my own business, I said, oh, I was there so that I could learn this and apply it to that. You know, I could learn that and apply it to this, you know. So everything is temporary. And, you know, I'm about to end a relationship. And I thought I was supposed to stay. Oh, because God, every time I asked him, he said, stay, stay. Stay. I kept praying. I said, God, okay, then if it's time for me to leave, because I'm ready to go, I'm real tired of this, then let me leave now, you know. And most people would believe because we're separating that it was never meant to be. But the way that God explains it in my mind is this, that I was meant to begin that thing. And there was a beginning and there's an ending. And, you know, there was a lot learned during the process. So when God said stay, 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 I thought he meant stay forever until death do us part. But he's releasing me now and it's time to go. And so once again, it was temporary and I learned a lot from it. But it just wasn't something permanent, not for me. Anyways, I wanted to share that story. And and I'm currently writing. And I wrote a whole song and I'm just say this one line from it. Okay? So I'm gonna say two lines from it. It says, I said to my daughter earlier, I said, if I were not meant to be in that relationship, then this song would never have existed. But I don't want to give too much of it away. But it says, yeah, I lost a lot of time, but then I learned a lot of lessons. I forgive you off the jump because I refuse to block my blessings. I'm going to say it again. Yeah, I lost a lot of time, but then I learned a lot of lessons. I forgive you off the jump because I refuse to block my blessings. Okay? So there you go. It doesn't matter what you do in this life. There is something to be gained from it. And so on that note, I bid you all good day. Peace.